Alright. Welcome to Sideboard MTG. My name's Eric, and tonight we got another of Dev's deck for you. This is Jaya's Apex. Again, this is a conceptual deck. Dev said it himself. He didn't get a lot of reps in with it. And at the end of his video, he was asking people for a little bit of feedback. Are there some cards that maybe he missed? Are there some cards coming out? Have we seen some spoilers that could help this deck along? We'll take a look at the basics of this deck tonight. We'll play some games with it, and then you guys can decide for yourself, like, what is it missing? What does it need? What should we be on the lookout for as we see the rest of these spoilers? Either way, give it a thumbs up if you like it, and if you like the content in general, consider subscribing to the channel. Also, if you want to play this deck, or any of Dev's decks for that matter, you can always find the link in the description box below, and if you don't have the cards for them, you can always just rent those with manatraders, and if you do sign up with manatraders, use the coupon code below to save yourself 15% on your first 3 months. Alright guys, let's talk about Dev's Jaya's Apex here. I guess we should just talk about the namesake cards of the deck really quick. Jaya Ballard. She is a 5-mana planeswalker. You will need 3 red and 2 colorless, or 2 of any color, to cast her. She does not have a typical negative ability other than her ultimate. She's got 2+1s. So the first one is add 3 mana, or 3 red mana to your mana pool, but this mana can only be spent on instants and sorceries. So as you would guess, we're going to be playing a lot of instants and sorceries here. Some of those are going to be quite large, or with the ability to be quite large. So we're going to make some usage out of that plus 1 of hers. Her other +1 is discard up to 3 cards, then draw that many cards. Now, the last time I played Jaya, I actually used this the middle ability more often than I used the plus ability, just because I was playing a graveyard deck and I actually wanted a way to discard a bunch of cards. And Jaya supplied me with that, and it worked very, very well. I even used her, 3 red to cast, refurbish and things like that. 1 white, bam, here's a refurbish. So, I mean, she was really good in those decks. I do like the card Jaya Ballard. I think that she's absolutely terrific. You're probably going to hear me call her Grandma a lot. It seems like that is the nickname for her. A lot of people have called her Grandma Chandra or whatever. So we're probably going to be nicknaming Jaya Ballard Grandma tonight. So Grandma's going to come out to play. She's going to be casting some big stuff. I do want to go ahead and mention that ultimate really quick, though. That is a -8, so you will need to plus her 3 times and then neg her to get off the ultimate. But the ultimate says you get an emblem with, you may cast instant and sorcery cards from your graveyard. If you cast this card and it would be put into the graveyard, exile it instead. Basically, all instants and sorceries in your graveyard gain flashback. This is a really, really powerful ability. The ultimate should give most decks the edge they need to have the card advantage to continue on with the fight, or just win the fight from there. So if we do get a chance to ultimate her, that will be a ton of fun. But for the most part, we're just looking at that +1 to gain the 3 additional mana. Now, we are going to be trying to cast something along the lines of an Apex of Power. Now, this is a card that a lot of people might have looked at and went, that'll never happen. This is a 10 mana sorcery, ladies and gentlemen. 10 mana sorcery. But it could be worth it. You're going to exile the top 7 cards of your library, and until end of turn, you may cast non-land cards exiled this way. Well, if I just spent 10 mana, how am I going to cast those? If this if this spell was cast from your hand, add 10 mana of any one color. Of course, we're going to be picking red. So basically, if you get to 10 mana, you're going to be able to cast Apex of Power, and then you're going to be able to choose to have 10 more red mana to cast those 7 spells with. Should be a lot of fun. I'm hoping that we do, get the chance to fire this off. But that's not the only 10 mana spell we've got. We do have quite a few copies of Fight with Fire here, which is, that is the art that you'll see on the thumbnail. There is Fight with Fire. It's a great artwork of Jaya Ballard. This card, the artwork just screams that this is Jaya's spell. Okay, so what Jaya is going to allow you to do here is +1 and just play it for free, basically. Or you can pump that in with additional 6 mana to be able to deal 10 damage divided as you choose amongst any number of targets. So you can choose, you know, bam, 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 we're going to shoot this, this, and this, or you can just go 10 to the face. Now, if you don't kick it, it's only 5 damage to target creature, and you can't fork it. So you're not going to be able to split it wherever you want, but if you do kick it, you can then split it to any number of targets you want. So, pretty cool spell. I think the power of Fight with Fire has been shown in quite a few different decks. I was watching Todd Anderson and Brad Nelson play around with an Izzet and a Golgari deck today, and Brad it was an Amulet deck, and he actually got to dome Brad for 20 with Fight with Fire with Amulet. So you know, there's some cool aspects there. All right, so the rest of the deck's pretty straightforward. We've got a couple creatures that are going to, you know, give us a little bit of extra mana. Those are Wily Goblin and Captain Lannery Storm. Now, I'm not going to go into too much depth with these, as I normally don't. If you guys want to check out the deck tech, there is a deck tech. Should be a link below. I may or may not have put that link up. But there should definitely be a way to get over to Dev's channel. If you guys want to check out the deck tech, check out Dev from SBMTG, and he's got a great deck tech on it. But we've got a couple creatures here that are just going to give us a little bit of ramp. Now, Wily Goblin and Captain Lannery Storm kind of work together, as you know. Captain can use the treasures. Wily Goblin produces a treasure, that sort of thing. Wily Goblin's a decent little blocker, that sort of thing. We do have one Get2 Chronicler in the main board. Now, this one's kind of, you know, it's 6 mana to be able to kick it, but you're going to be able to get an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard back to your hand. So something you've used before, you want to use it again, go ahead and kick your Get2 Chronicler, and then you can get it back. Now, Jaya, remember, Jaya will not help you cast the Get2 Chronicler. It's only instants and sorcery. So, we do also have Catalyst Elemental. So, think of this more of a red ramp deck. And that's kind of something we really haven't seen a lot of. We had Treasure Red in the meta a little bit in the past. Treasure Red was a deck that came and went. None of the cards have really actually rotated out from Treasure Red. It's just the meta shifted and put Treasure Red in kind of a bad spot. So, you know, since then we really haven't had much ramp going on. But we do have Catalyst Elemental here. And all of these are just going to give us extra ways to make more mana to cast our big spells. Now, our big spells are really just Fight with Fire and Banefire. And, of course, most of you know Banefire. If you cast Banefire, X is 5 or more. So if you cast it for 6 mana or more, then it can't be countered. So it's a good way to just, you know, deal some damage straight into you know, control decks and things like that. They're not going to be able to stop it. Dumping as much mana as we possibly can into it to go straight to a control deck's face is probably not a bad idea. But it does go to any target. So if we needed to burn out a Teferi or something like that, they wouldn't be able to stop us. Now there's also Shock. I was so upset. I only have 3 of this artwork of Shock, which I think it's pretty cool. It's like this weird green dude getting shocked. But you know, we've got one oddball Shock here. I should have went and looked for one more of this artwork, but just didn't really get around to it. Either way. So we've got Shock, we've got Apex of Power, Banefire, Fight with Fire, Catalyst Elemental, Captain Lannery Storm, Lightning Strike, of course. You know, where would you be without a couple bolts? Granted, it's not exactly bolt, but standard bolt, right? Standard bolt. Okay, so let's take a look at the sideboard. I guess I should mention the mana base is pretty straightforward. 25 mountains. Done, right? We talked about the mana base. Sheevan Fire in the sideboard here. Now, this is a 1 mana, basically a Shock, but if you do decide to pay 5 mana for it, you can, you know, get Galvanic Blast, right? Something like that. Is it what's the one that deals 4 damage? 1 mana, 4 damage. I think you need Metalcraft for it. Anyway, it'll deal 4 damage if you spend 5 mana on it. So that's, I guess that's the thing. You know, it could happen. We've got Jaya to help us out. Direfleet Daredevil. Now this is one of my favorite pirates that was printed. I really like Direfleet Daredevil. I think there's some implications for this card that people haven't really caught on to yet. He's a human pirate. He is basically like Snapcaster Mage, only you have to pull the card you want from your opponent's graveyard. Now, he does not get around your sorcery speed. I mean, he doesn't have flash or something like that. So, if you had a way to bring him back on your opponent's turn, you're not going to be casting a sorcery on their turn. But if you do have a if you do have a way to get him back, in some decks, like there's Grixis decks that I have put him in the sideboard of my Grixis decks, and to great extent, I really enjoyed him in the sideboard, especially with burn spells. One of the things I like about Direfleet Daredevil is the fact that he has first strike. So you can, swing in, they go to block with something, you put a little bit of damage on that creature, and then that creature dies in first strike combat. The creature never hits you, your Direfleet Daredevil is still around, rocking, I like it. I do like Direfleet Daredevil. Probably one of my favorite cards in this entire deck. Other than Jaya herself, I really do like that Planeswalker. So I'm excited to play a deck built around Jaya. I'm just not really comfortable in our current meta. It just seems like it's a red-black fest and has been for quite some time. So, it's a thing. Alright, so we do have 3 more copies of Get To Chronicler. Again, against control decks and things like that. We'll be able to bring this in, get a little bit of card advantage back. Against more aggressive decks, we have Fiery Cannonade. There are a lot of those red-white controlled or red-white creature decks or token decks running around. So Fiery Cannonade will do really well against those. This will not help against most of the red decks, as a lot of people due to Goblin Chainwhirler have been coming off of 1 power creatures, and the jump has kind of went from 1 toughness creatures, and the jump has been kind of straight to 3 toughness. So it's kind of stopped Magma Spray from being as good, but there's still a lot of people playing Magma Spray. We still have a lot of 2 toughness creatures, and this is going to do really good. Do note that our Direfleet Daredevil, our Wily Goblin, and Captain Lannery Storm are all pirates, so they will not be affected by the Fiery Cannonade. And then, of course, we do have a couple other cards here in the sideboard. I think that if you weren't playing a rotation-proof deck, Vance's Blasting Cannons should probably be Chandra. But since this is a rotation-proof deck, he's went with Vance's Blasting Cannons. I actually like the card. I think that in decks that are really low to the ground, that this card is absolutely broken. I think the card's going to get a lot more play come rotation. So I'm excited to have it here in the sideboard. At the beginning of your upkeep, you're going to be able to exile a card, and then you can, if it's a non-land card, you can cast it this turn. And whenever you cast your 3rd land for the turn, you're going to be able to transform it. And at that point, you just pay 3 mana, tap this, and you have a Lightning Bolt. So, yeah, I mean, it's a 4 mana Lightning Bolt, but you can do it over and over and over again, and that is really going to push those control decks out. We also have 1 copy of Star of Extinction. Deb said this was more of a fun of than anything else, but, we might bring it in. We might bring it in. It could be a lot of fun, right? Just, boom! Just, 20 damage to everything. Yeah, it could happen. Let's get some shout-outs. Let's talk to some of these people. What's up, K-Dog? How you doing? Jan. It's one of your favorite Magic cards because it breaks Fantasy Gun Control Present MTG. What? What did I miss? Oh, you would play cannons in the main deck? Okay, right. I like cannons. I actually like cannons. I don't know about the Fantasy Gun Control or whatever. But, sure, right? Is there a fantasy gun thing? Like, is Soren supposed to have a gun, right? I don't know. Anyway, I think he's got a sword, right? What's up, Madness? How you doing, sir? Ike, what's up? Jack Breacher, Star of Extinction with the new Boros Reckoner. Yeah, that would be a busted combo, but then again, you do still have to cast it. Aiden, how you doing? Go Granny, go! That's right. David C, how you doing? What's up, Rush? Preet? Galvanic Blast? Yeah, I mean, I think that's the one I was talking about. I could be wrong. Oh, man. Now I've got to check. I've got to check. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Galvanic Blast. We were right. Go us, right? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is basically the card it wants to be. Galvanic Blast, pretty cool card. I run it in the sideboard of my little jank modern deck. Anyway, who else we got here? Nightbot. Yeah, Nightbot's here, right? There's a link to Dev's channel over there. Check him out. You can just click Nightbot. He's always posting about Dev. Nightbot likes Dev more than any of us, right? Sean, how you doing, sir? Have I thought about putting in double cast from M19? So first off, I didn't build the deck, so I never really changed the decks at all. I just play whatever Dev puts out, and I just kind of play them that way because in the beginning, when I first started doing these, I was making changes to them. I was running, you know, I was running 3 games, and I would run 2 the way that, you know, Dev had them, and then I would make some changes. And, you know, changes are not always great, right? You're always just kind of going, hey, I want to try this and this and this in the deck. And, you know, if it failed, then I would get a lot of flack for the changes. And then if it was good, then I would get some flack of you know, oh, you know, these Devs decks suck, you know, they need to have this other thing in them, and I just wanted to avoid that. So these decks, we're just gonna play them as they are. I'm not gonna make any changes. I personally think that we should probably throw like a Primal Amulet in here. That's actually what Madness says as well. I think Primal Amulet would work really well. I would also like to, you know, reduce the converted mana cost of the deck all in all, just to make things a little bit cheaper. But then again, the converted mana cost is already very cheap. I think there's a lot of things that you could put in this deck. But again, I want to play it first. I want to see how it feels, and then from there, you know, we can talk about, you know, if you would add some things, if you wouldn't add some things. In the sideboard, I think the treasure map would have been like terrific in this deck. So yeah, I think that. I think that there's quite a few things that could go in the deck. Again, you know, Capillanary Storm and Wily Goblin with Treasure Map. They would feed your flip Treasure Map to draw additional cards, that sort of thing. And, you know, Treasure Map, you can sack the treasure any way you want, and if you sack it to, you know, the land, then Capillanary Storm's still going to get its buff. So I think that Treasure Map could have been in the deck. It's probably better than Get To Chronicler, but then again, you know, Get To Chronicler is another body, that sort of thing, so yeah. You're right, Jack. Smash Face, get treasures, ramp, kill, everything with burn. Burn them all, burn them. Gerard, what's up, sir? How you doing? Crewfix. Oh my goodness, Crewfix is here. He showed up for late night last night as well. Yeah, he's been skulking around again, guys. Is old Crewfix back? Are you back, Crewfix? Are you back? What's up, Sean? How you doing, sir? You also threw your first deck on the Reddit. That's great, man. That's great. And Connor's hoping this deck's great, so I hope he's right. Roman's always here for a Debs deck. Now, Roman's about like me. Some of them are hit and miss, but you know, like we still do it, right? Right? Like we still watch these, we still play these, we still want so many great things. And from time to time, Deb just has amazing ideas, amazing plans, and you got to play them all to be able to find that one that's just a diamond in the rough, right? Polish it up a little bit and take it to F&M. Right? We still do it, Roman. I remember, like, we had like 3 or 4 Devs decks in a row that just bombed on us, and I remember you were like, "Oh my God, this is upsetting me." I get that way too, man. But like I always say about Devs decks, you know, that he puts out, you know, about 30 decks per block, and there's only going to be 3 to 5 tier 1 decks in any given block. So, You know, he can't put out 30 tier 1 decks, so yeah. Jizza, what's up, sir? How are you? Alright, guys. Kadito? 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 Not like this. What's up, man? How you doing? Sweltering Suns, gone. We have no other angers. Yeah, we got a red-white one now. We've got a red-white one that also can give all of your creatures lifelink. So if you're casting under your creatures, like Naya Dinosaurs, I think Naya Dinosaurs is going to be a thing. I really do. It looks like that Naya Dinosaurs has gotten a lot of help. I mean, if you can get something like Ripjaw Raptor on the battlefield, then use the Boros Anger and give it lifelink, wipe the board, draw a card, swing. Yeah, that's going to be a thing, guys. I'm serious. Naya Dinosaurs might be a real thing, just because of some of the help that the Boros is going to add to those decks. So, Thief of Insanity is brutal, probably. Yeah, Ripjaw is great. All right, guys, you guys ready to play some games? I'm in a good mood tonight, right? Like, we're gonna do good things here, right? I think we're gonna do good things. If nothing else, we're gonna have some fun trying. Griffin the Mad! We're coming after you, Griffin. Is his name Peter? Hello, Peter. Is it counter burn control is the thing? It looks like it will be. If it's Is It Wizards, it looks like there's going to be enough power there in the Is It Wizards to have a counter burn control, that sort of thing. Hello, Peter. I actually said that to the opponent. Wow. Do we keep? I mean, we want lands, right? We don't have any real threats, but, I mean, we get our lands, we stop some of the early things, try to draw into... I think we keep it. I think we can keep it. Burn them all. Right? I don't think we just start going to face if our opponent... Like, our opponent has to, like, miss a land drop before I start trying to go to face. So, we'll see what happens. Maybe he just goes, you know, Glint-Sleeve Siphoner here, and he's probably playing Mike Sechrist's deck. In which case, if we get to 10 mana, then mono red draw go, boys. Mono red draw go. It's how we roll. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Is the music too loud, guys? Anticipate. He's doing things. He's doing things. I mean, worst case scenario, he plays Teferi. We use 2 spells to stop it. What a thing. Mono red draw go. We're at 5. So is he. What do you guys think about the new 2 mana, deal 4 damage, exile creature? Like, what do you guys think about that? Can't hear it? You can't hear the music? Okay. Doomfall! Sure, opponent. Go for it. I mean, what do you take? Fight with fire? Sure. I'm gonna burn him. I kind of think that he's just gonna Vraska's Contempt this Jaya Ballard. But, you know, if he doesn't, then okay. Yeah, there's the Vraska's Contempt. That's kind of what we expected. Alright, well. We're at 7. I mean, what's the likelihood we actually resolve any of these big spells? Come on. Well, he took Fight with Fire last time. Jaya Ballard? Syncopate. Nope, won't pay for it. You got us, opponent. The opponent is down to 3 cards in hand, though. I assume we're getting to Fairy here soon. Azor! Okay. Okay. Well, our Banefire is sorcery speed, so not a lot we can do about that. I assume the opponent's just going to Sphinx his Rev for 1,000,000 here. I think, knowing what we have in our hand, I think the opponent would just straight up just Sphinx his Rev for all of it. I think I would. I mean, we are going to try to kill the Azor. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The opponent's got more mana than we got. So he did better at hitting his land drops than we did, and he only cast 1 Anticipate. Yeah. Just paying homage to the community. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome, Alba. Thank you very much, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, he's back to 8 cards in hand. It's going to be pretty hard to beat. Okay, bye Azor. Like, it's too late though, right? Damage is done. Lyra. Now counter the shock and okay. I mean, we've got 9 mana. We need to start top decking like Banefires and stuff of that nature, but our opponent's at 30, and our plan is to burn our opponent out. We need to hit, what, land, Apex? And then we need the Apex to resolve. What is he casting? Torment, Hellfire. Got me. Got me. Okay, well, so I don't want Catalyst Elemental at all. I do want the additional card value from Vance's Blasting Cannons here. And then, plus that's going to give us a lot of reach. I think I want Dire Fleet Daredevil. And we're going to bring that in over the Wily Goblin. Other than that, like, I don't know if we really need anything else here. I would love to hit a couple, like, to get to Chroniclers, I don't know. I guess we could bring in another Chronicler. It's just a 1/3 though. Yeah, I'll bring in one more Chronicler. I don't actually like that card. Like, I know it's going to give us some value back, but, I mean, really, how much are we getting back? Okay, so last hand was nothing but mana. This hand has none, so I'm going to mulligan. This looks like a keepable hand, so we'll keep it. I think we can put that on the bottom. Try to look for a couple more threats. As much as I want to just like run this out on 2, maybe that shouldn't be the case. Like I want to just get a threat out there and start bashing in. We'll see. I think we're definitely going to go for, you know, a threat next turn. Right? Remorseful Cleric is going to be absolutely terrific in the decks that can pull it off. We're going to try the Captain Lannery Storm. And I assume that it just gets killed here, but it may not. I mean, he may not have low to the ground kill spells after seeing our deck, which would be great for us, you know. Okay, opt. Maybe the opponent's looking for, you know, mana. I mean, it's his turn 3. We'll see. We'll see what he's got. Duress. All right. Well, I mean, you get a Banefire. I assume that he pulls the Banefire. He does. Yeah. All right. Well. We'll go to combat. And then I'm just going to pass. I mean, yeah, we're making like no usage of our mana here. Like we could get to Chronicler kicked. He doesn't have double black, so I don't think we're playing around Vraska's Contempt here. So we'll get a little kick on our Captain Lannery Storm. We'll get to Lava Runner, get back a Banefire. He anticipates. We definitely want to put pressure on the opponent, you know, as quickly as possible. I just want to cast Apex. Like, I'll feel the entire night will be a success if we just get to cast Apex of Power. I'm trying to get more aggressive this play than we were last time, and you know, getting this extra hit in while I think that we can with the Captain Lannery Storm, I think it's where we want to be. So we're gonna give it a shot. We'll see what he's got. Settle the wreckage. Okay. Yes. We would love to thin our deck. We'll take this one and this one. Yep, that one. I think it's safer to do it now. So we've got him at 7. And I don't... I mean, Duress... Diamond. I had to say Duress, didn't I? Seems like when I say these things, it makes them happen. Here we go! Oh my god! We're gonna do it! He's tapped out! Oh my god! Woo! Here we go! Tap 8. And we're going to go green, white, because we're funny like that. And we're going to make red mana. We're going to cast Fight with Fire with Kicker. Call it a day. Bam! Yes! Yeah, this is match 1, game 2. We cast Apex! Out of 7 cards, we had 3 that were castable. Oh, that's okay though. We only needed the one. Now we can end the stream. It's good. We're good. We're done. We're done. We're done. That's it. That's it. This deck's great. We're not playing anymore. This deck is great, right? That was fire, pun intended. It was fire. That was fire. That was fire. Gah! Apex of Power right off the top. Yeah. I guess that's how it was drawn up. That's what it was meant to do right there. Well, great stream, y'all. Take care. You only need to generate much mana and top deck. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Generate a ton of mana and top deck. That's it. You got it. That's magic, buddy. Make a lot of mana and top deck the perfect card at the perfect time. That's how you become a great Magic player. I think we keep this. Because if he does duress me, I'm going to turn 3 duress him back. And then I'm going to save cards like Shock and things like that until after we get our blasting cannons down. And, I mean, I'm definitely going to go for the blasting cannons. So, we'll see what happens. I assume that he actually takes the blasting cannons, but he may take our Banefire. I highly expect to be duressed here soon. You can die happy, right? Devs decks, naysaying. Right. It worked! It worked! Now the question is, does he take blasting cannons or does he take Banefire? He can't stop Banefire if we get enough mana, so maybe he takes it now. But blasting cannons gives us card advantage, and yeah, he did take the Banefire. That's terrific. I'm gonna him. And this is why Direfleet Daredevil is great, ladies and gentlemen. Great. Oh, darn. What's the good news here? You can't cast it for a little bit longer? Well, I'm not worried about the negate. I do want to get rid of the Vraska's Contempt. Jeez. Lyra. Lyra. Okay, so he's got negate available, so I'm just going to Captain Storm. We'll get into combat. Get a little damage in. Make a little mana. You know, do those kind of things. Maybe we'll top deck a Banefire or something here. Or we just Vraska's Contempt it, right? Yeah. I like that. Direfleet Daredevil, ladies and gentlemen. Direfleet Daredevil. Alright. Just saying. Broken card. Absolutely terrific. Get used to it. It's going to be one of the better cards floating around for some time. I just don't think people have really understood the power of the card. It's absolutely terrific. And if he taps out for an additional Lyra right here, we're going to burn that one too. He doesn't play the Lyra, which means we're just going to punch him in the face. So we'll see what happens. I mean, now what do you do, opponent? Like, do you play Lyra? You... Shock you? Lightning strike you? Hey, let's go play another game, shall we? This one's over. How about that? Right? Just go play some more. Just go play some more. Woo! Oh my goodness! Yeah! Bam bam! Just get it done! How about that? Right? And I had doubts. I had doubts that this was just pure madness. Pure madness. Wow. And that's game, right? That's game. We've got burn spells. We've got lands. I'll keep. I think that's what we do here. I personally think that the Direfleet Daredevil, the one main board Get To Chronicler should probably be Direfleet Daredevil. I think the card is phenomenal, and I definitely think it doesn't get enough representation. The card is awesome. Thrashing Labrontodon, right? It's Brashing Throntodon. It's old Throntodon. I like Labrontodon better, but I'm not a basketball fan. I know Jim Davis. He started the Brontodon thing, or LeBrontodon thing, at least as far as I know. I'm a big Jim Davis fan, and when I see LeBrontodon, that lets me know that you know, some of you guys are big Jim Davis fans too. I think he's a great YouTuber or streamer, not necessarily YouTuber, but I think Jim Davis is just, he's pretty good. I'm just gonna go ahead and kill this. We'll take our shock. We'll play our land. I mean, if this is Wizards, which it probably is, Highland Lake. So I mean, if this is Wizards, we should have enough control here to deal with most of the Wizard-esque type things. So yeah. What's the record? Well, we've only played one match. We're in match 2, and I tell you, man, if you didn't get a chance to see us cast Apex of Power against that Azor control deck, it was an Esper control deck. Game 1, he hit us with a Torment of Hellfire, and then game 2, we just burned him out. So yeah, I'll say this. I actually like the fact that this deck is quite content with just going, Drago. You follow Jim Davis but think he's rude to his followers and really rude to his wife. So I like Jim Davis, but I have not watched him enough to be able to tell you if he's rude or not. I think that he cuts most of that out in his replays or whatever if he is rude, so I really wouldn't know. But I like Jim Davis. I think that he's a really good player. As far as followers go, I'm not going to say that you have to be rude, but there are definitely times where, you know, man, do we kill this thing? You have to just set things straight, otherwise, like, you'll have way too many people trying to get you to do this and that and all these other things. So I mean, you kind of got to go, look, like, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm going to do. And you know, if you start to you know, appease everybody, and I've tried to do that, tried to make everyone happy. It just doesn't work. It just really doesn't work. So, man. I mean, so he's going to get a little filtering here. 6, 7, 8. I want to cast Fight with Fire and then get it back. I'm just going to play the Catalyst Elemental here. If he wants to keep his Wizard, he can. I mean, he's probably going to Wizard's Lightning or Elemental. I don't like this card. I get that it's ramp. I just don't like the card. Hey, we sacked it. Now what? Nah, we weren't going to use the mana. We were just bluffing. Okay. So... this could be a thing. I'm just going to get shocked back if this resolves. If it doesn't resolve, we'll get a counter out of his hand. I expect that he's holding the retort, yeah. And the main reason I played that was to get the retort, because I want to be able to get this Jaya down, and I just didn't think that we were going to be able to get there without getting rid of the retort. He may still have a retort in his hand. I don't know. Okay. We need to draw another burn spell. This is not a pirate. Like, these are all wizards, right? Not pirates. There's a Banefire. Okay. Okay. So... if we get rid of Adelise... I'm trying to think of a way that we can actually get through this, because I expect that he's going to have a spell, whether it's shock or something along those lines, that'll buff them, and any buff is going to put him at, you know, dealing 6 damage, which means Jaya will die. I can play Jaya and then just cast like Banefire, which is probably right. Just play Jaya, cast Banefire, kill the Adelise, and then, like, next turn try to cast Fight with Fire. Yeah, I think we're going to go that route. So we'll play Jaya, uptick Jaya, and I'm going to cast it for 3. I'm going to keep the Banefire. Because, or I'm going to use the Banefire because I expect to, yeah, we're going to do it for 3 just in case he has, like, Opt. Like, I'm basically just trying to play around Opt there. So, we just want to see if we can keep this Jaya Ballard on the battlefield. Alright, well, that's going to do a little damage to Jaya. I assume that he targets her, not me. But, looks like I'm wrong. Looks like I'm going to be the target here. He is just... and he's just swinging at me. Just not scared of Jaya at all. Yeah, well... so... I'm going to go... Spray doesn't get countered. Boom shakalaka. I'm not going to discard anything here. And that's because I just want to have an answer to anything that... oh, goodness. Are you going to have enough to burn me out, opponent? Dear goodness. Alright, so we're going to go for the lightning strike here. Captain Lannery Storm. I'm going to emblem Jaya. I'll play Captain Storm. We will swing. And then I'm just going to go for as much damage as possible. We will cast Lightning Strike. Captain Storm's going to hit for 3. Okay, so he's going to Wizard's Lightning Captain Storm. That buys us a little bit of time. Sure. We're looking at what? Shock, Banefire next turn? So, yeah, it's going to be game. I mean, Jaya's ultimate here. Alright, so, wow. I want my Direfleet Daredevils back. Like, I think that if you guys are going to play this deck, like, just get rid of these Catalyst Elementals. Bring in the Direfleet Daredevils. Just bring those in. I think the card's great. I don't see a good reason to not play it. Fiery Cannonade looks like it will kill 90% of the opponent's deck here. I'm going to get rid of the Get To Chronicler, even though it's probably a good blocker. Maybe we don't need that many Fiery Cannonades. Maybe not, right? Like, maybe it's just Sheevan Fire. I mean, Sheevan Fire only deals it to a creature. You know what? Let's take out 1 shock and we're gonna bring in 3 Fiery Cannonades. How's that? I think that's okay. We don't still have a Get To Chronicler in here, do we? No, we took that out. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is close to right. I really want this Vance's Blasting Cannons in. I mean, if we were to be able to flip that Vance's Blasting Cannons, we would just have infinite answers. So, yeah. Gold casting. What? What's up, Ryan? How you doing, sir? Steven! Gold casting for... What? Divine Visitation. If 1 or more creature tokens would be... oh, yes. Rush sent me a message today about that card. I think that card's going to be really, really good. I don't like the fact that it doesn't really do anything the turn that it comes in, but if you've already got something that's going to create some tokens that turn, you can play it, and then you're actually going to get something out of it. I'm curious. The interaction that Rush sent me was... I think we have answers here, so I'm going to keep this. The interaction Rush sent me was Telenali Summoner with that card. So, you know, you make all these 1/1s, they're actually 4/4 angels. I'm going to have to look into if those, since they're actually made as angels instead, do they get exiled? I'm going to have to look at that interaction a little bit closer before I can actually answer that question. But that's where I'm curious about, yeah. The combo with Lyra and literally any other white cards, it looks good. It really does look good. So, I mean, basically that's my thoughts on that card. So we're set up right now for him to play a red land, play Adeliz or something like that. Oh, he's not doing it. He's just going to keep up Wizard's Retort. I am totally okay with playing this draw go with him. I want to find a window to get my Captain Lannery Storm out. We're not quite there yet. He's got his Wizard's Retort online, but he's also hurting on mana. So, I mean, I want to get this Captain Storm out. There we go. So now he plays creature. We go to burn said creature. Right, now maybe he tries to protect it with Wizard's Retort. Oh, you're so good, opponent. You're so good. We play Captain Storm. We ain't scared. We ain't scared. You scared? I ain't scared. You scared? Block. Break it off. And was it your only wizard? Is it that important to you to keep that wizard? Well, fine. Send your burn spells right here to Captain Storm. She can take it. She can take the burn. I actually hope I hit a Fiery Cannonade right now. Fiery Cannonade looks like it would be terrific. We may fire off one of these fight with... Oh my goodness. Really? Sweet! We did get to trade. So I'll just play another Captain Storm. Maybe he'll retort it. No retort. I'm probably going to block here as well. There's a shock. Okay. So now we've got something to actually Direfleet Daredevil into. Mystic Archaeologist. Okay. Fiery Cannonade. Come on, Cannonade. Alright. So we'll go Direfleet Daredevil. I think we shock the Archaeologist. I mean, he can't retort here. So we're just going to grab the shock. We're going to shock that dude. Play Captain Storm. Try to make another treasure. Wizard's Lightning. Okay. That's okay. He's only got one card left in hand. We still have 12 life. And I think our late game is better than his. I really do. Alright, there's a Pyromancer. I mean, we've got this Direfleet Daredevil here. He's not swinging. There's a Wily Goblin. Like, we're trying to get to this apex of power here. I'm going to play the Wily Goblin. That'll make another treasure. I'll play Direfleet Daredevil. And Wizard's Lightning. I'm going to swing for 2. Man, this should have been a wizard. This seems bad to be able to sack this, but I want to remove some of his wizards. Just removing like threats that he may have seems good. I mean, we've got some time. And again, you know, Direfleet Daredevil, First strike, doing things. I mean, this guy's out for action. Direfleet Daredevil wants to do things, guys. Wants to do things. Land for our opponent. Not willing to trade. Oh, we may cast it. Like, and the reason I'm leaving back Wily Goblin is because if he gets a removal spell, he's likely to use it on the Wily Goblin just so that he can get in with his Pyromancer. And I would rather him use removal on a Wily Goblin and hit me for 2 than to be able to remove something else. We're getting to the point where he doesn't have a lot of choices. There's a shock. Like, if he does have removal spells, he's going to have to start putting, he's going to have to start using them on what we currently have on the battlefield, and that's going to open up a nice window for us to fire off some of these other ridiculous spells we have. I mean, we could already cast this Fight with Fire, you know what I mean? Yes, we can cast Apex, but since he doesn't have removal, it makes me think that he's probably just holding counter. And at this point, he has to remove what we currently have on the battlefield. These Direfleet Daredevils are currently representing lethal as is. So, yeah, we're going to make him, like, stop what's currently here. Then we're going to finish him off with just epic greatness. I think I attack all out here. Just let him do things. So if he blocks the Wily Goblin, we just shock him, right? He's going to draw. He tapped out, ladies and gentlemen. He tapped out. So I'm going to cast Apex of Power. Apex of Power. Because that seems like... Now I can just shock him. Damn it, opponent. Why'd you have to make it too easy? I'm still casting Apex Power. Because that was the goal tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Was to cast Apex of Power. So we're casting Apex of Power. Oh, yeah. How do we want to dome him? I mean, we could have cast this anyway, right? No, we just want... We want 9 damage here. And 1 damage to your face. Right? That's how we want to split it? This deck is stupid good. What? Like, what is this craziness? Okay, Witchfire. Coming after you. Maybe slight over. I hit him for Exaxes, James. I only did Exaxes to the opponent. We didn't do any overkill whatsoever. Not on the opponent. Maybe on that little dude that was left behind. Maybe we overkilled it a little bit. Just a little bit. I actually think this is a bad hand. We don't have any removal. Every game that this deck has went off, we've just had land and some burn spells early game. So I think this is probably one of the worst hands we've had so far. No kill like overkill. I think I'm mulligan this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna... Man, it's only got worse. I will keep, though. I mean... We'll put that on the bottom. Got worse. Red, black, or blue have no printed way in Magic history to remove an enchantment. Blue can bounce it. If it's a blue enchantment, there are some red ways to get rid of it. But for the most part, Grixis has never been able to remove enchantments. It's just one of the weaknesses of Grixis is enchantment-based removal. So, yeah, duress counts. Like, there's ways to get these enchantments before they hit the battlefield, but if you can get an enchantment down, they can. Chaos Warp. What does Chaos Warp say? Does it actually say destroy target enchantment? Or does it say, like, put it on the bottom of their library? I mean, there's... In all reality, there are, you know, multiple ways in multiple formats where Grixis has been able to remove enchantments because of colorless artifacts and things like that that just say, you know, do this, like, only, you know, like, just destroy all things or whatever. Oh, man, Jungleborn Pioneer. So it's Merfolk. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to play Jaya Ballard. And then I'm going to set back with Wily Goblin and try to protect her. I'm going to discard a card. Which, discarding a land's probably bad here, but I'm going to do it. And we're just going to say done. There's an apex. There's an apex. So we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, well. Land off the top will put us there. Or Ronos. Three plus 5. Oh no, that's only 9. Oh no, that's only 9. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I messed that up. And the trample's gonna be a problem. Yeah. Trample's gonna be an issue. So I assume that he puts, like, trample on Jungleborn Pioneer. Well, he's already jumped into combat. A little late now, opponent. That was a misclick. It was definitely a misclick. Like, I don't think that's what he wanted to do. Like, he's already in his combat step, and I didn't hesitate to let him jump to it. So, one more land off the top. We might be able to have some fun, ladies and gentlemen. Might be able to have some fun. There's a Vine Mare. Okay. Oh, goodness. That doesn't actually net us any mana. Actually cost us some mana. So there we go. There's a land. Okay, can we keep Jaya alive for one more turn? And will it be enough? Will it be enough? Nature's Way, no! So now Ronus has trample. Vine Mare's got trample. We can't protect Jaya. Alright, mono green. At Jaya. At Jaya. We can't save her. Nothing saves her here. So we let her bite the bullet. Good job, Jaya. Good job. Way to hang in there. Just gonna plus and pass. We can't kill the Vine Mare, so we basically just need to block something and hope that Jaya stays alive, but I'm just really not expecting that to happen. Yeah. Seems like this is gonna be a thing. Yeah, looks like the green deck's gonna get ahead of us here a little bit on at us. So 9. Sure. We're at 4. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens when we cast the Apex of Power. I don't think it's going to be enough. We needed this to go off a turn or two ago. And at least we get to cast Apex Power here, right? Just cast the Apex. We need Star of Extinction against this deck. Like, we need to be able to flip up Star of Extinction and be like, wham! Apex of Power. We'll pick red. We want to cast... Like, none of this saves us, guys. None of it. I mean, we can cast Banefire for 9. We can cast Fight with Fire. We can cast Shock, Lightning Strike. But none of that's going to save us. Like, so if we shock this, he still has Ronus. We're at 4. Dead on board. Another Apex of Power. Yeah, we were just a turn off of bringing in the Star of Extinction. I think that we want the first strike here. Get rid of the Chronicler. Again, the Catalyst Elemental just was bad. He's got those Merfolk, so it looks like he's got some small dudes that he's wanting to pump up. And if that's the case, then we might be able to keep him just off of, you know, Ronus things, period. So I'm just going to get rid of the Wily Goblin. And then we're going to go for Star of Extinction and Fiery Cannonades, along with Captain Lannery Storm here. We're just going to use Captain as the ramp. Maybe a Sheevan Fire? I don't think so. I don't think that's where I really want to be. It is an instant speed, so maybe. But yeah, I think I'm just going to run it like this. We'll see. Excuse me there. All right. I mean, overall, though, the decks had a really good record. All right, so we've got Lightning Strikes, we've got lands, we've got a Gyre Ballard, we've got a Direfleet Daredevil. These are all cards. We've even got an Apex of Power, which we're a long way from making use of that, but hey. Second cast, another Apex. Yeah, but I don't think that a second Apex would have done us any good, so I don't know, like, right? That would have just been for, you know, for giggles. We do need to just continuously hit land here, though. Vine Mare is going to be very bad. Jungleborn Pioneer. Yeah, I'm just going to burn that now. And now if he plays like Ronus or something like that, we'll wait for him to actually put an ability on the stack, and then we can burn the Merfolk. There's a Vine Mare. That's the thing. So now we need like land, fiery cannonade. Yep. Nissa, Vital Force. Yikes. Yikes. Well, the only thing we can really do here is just try to block the Vine Mare. And I mean, we can kill it. So I mean, that's a thing. But Nissa is still going to hit us here. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Well, isn't that just lovely? Alright, well, it's been fun, Mono Green. It's been fun. But, yeah, that's going to be it. Spicy green deck. And the only thing I've seen on it that was spicy is like Nature's Way and Jungleborn Pioneer. Both of which make sense. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. So, what'd you guys think about the deck? We went 2-1. We had some tremendous fun casting Apex of Power. At least I had fun. I mean, it was just like, wow, yeah, we got to cast this huge card and do crazy things. And we killed a couple cool little decks. Seems like as long as you're playing against other jank, you're going to do pretty decent here. I don't like Catalyst Elemental. I do, however, love Direfleet Daredevil. I think that Direfleet Daredevil is just exactly what this card wants, being able to give you some extra, reach or things like that, being able to even grab a counter spell and holding that until end of turn. You don't have to cast it that given second. So, I mean, you can always just wait, until end of turn to cast that spell. So, yeah. Yeah, that Direfleet Daredevil's great. I think if I made any changes to the deck, it would just be get rid of the Catalyst. I know that the deck wants to be doing some ramp, but from what I've seen and the way the deck played, I don't think that the deck actually needs that. Honestly, maybe even 4 Direfleet Daredevils. Like, the card is the real deal. I really do like it. The Chronicler, bleh. Bleh. I don't know. I don't know if I like Chronicler or not. Limited, whatever. Definitely think that Treasure Map should be in the deck. So, I mean, I'm going to give my advice because that is one of the things that that Dev asked about was, what do you think should be in the deck and things like that. So, I think that if I was going to make any changes to the deck whatsoever, and I wanted to keep it, kind of, I would probably play it something along these lines as far as main deck goes. I don't think it would change much. I love the fact that it's got a ton of burn, things like that. Everything just felt really, really good when it was going off, when you were getting mana. I think Treasure Map's going to be really good against those draws where you're not doing anything but playing land a lot of the early game. So, yeah, that was the Nissa that I like so much. Nissa she's good, man. And that's why. She can just end the game, man. Like, a 5/5 land is no joke. But yeah, I think that the main board should probably be something along these lines. I don't think you're adding a lot of price to the deck by just throwing in a couple treasure maps and bringing in the Direfleet Daredevils. This also opens up 3 additional cards slots in the sideboard. And whether or not you wanted to keep or get rid of the Get To Chronicler, that's on you. I think that there's probably some other cards that we could throw in here. There's probably going to be some printed cards that are going to take place here. But the big one for me is the fact that if he didn't have a way to destroy our Direfleet Daredevil, we were actually going to kill the Vine Mayor in combat, because we were blocked with our Direfleet Daredevil, and then the Fiery Cannonade on, and it wasn't going to do any damage to our Direfleet Daredevil. First strike damage would have happened. We would have killed the Vine Mayor, that sort of thing. It would have been decent, but Nissa don't care. Nissa don't care. You know, so yeah, okay. So I get that it could be for early defense. I get that it could be card advantage against control decks, you know, later. So I mean, I get all of those things, but if you want it for early defense, there's probably a better card you could run. If you want card advantage, there might be a better card you could run. Notice I didn't take it out of the deck. I just think it's probably one of the weaker cards in the deck, and you still have 3 open slots in the sideboard. I think that if you're really wanting card advantage against control decks, and from the way I seen the deck played, where a lot of times you're just, you know, playing land, saying pass, playing land, saying pass. It's a mono red control deck. I think that you could get away with just playing a couple treasure maps in the deck, and I like that better than I like you know, the main board Get To Lava Runner or Get To Chronicler. Even though that's a human wizard, you know, we might be able to do some wizard things or something like that. I'm not a big fan of the Chronicler. But against a control deck, yeah, there's probably something there, you know. Yeah, Jane, like, put whatever you want in the deck. This is my opinion, man. I think that the main deck should probably be like this, and then you've got 3 slots in the sideboard for whatever you want. If you want to keep it, keep it. Don't want to keep it, don't keep it. I think I would keep it unless I could just find something that was better. And as far as, you know, control goes, I don't know. I'd probably go this way, and then maybe have one more burn spell or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, it was a rotation-proof rocker. It was a rotation-proof deck. The deck's only about $40, and it was a ton of fun. I really did enjoy it. I think if it wasn't rotation-proof, I think that I would have some Chandras in the deck. You might want to play with Sarkin or something like that. You maybe, yeah, right, maybe another Star of Extinction. That's probably a really good idea. We've seen that the decks that play bigger creatures are probably going to be able to get ahead of you. Decks that play multiple creatures are probably going to get ahead of you. So, yeah. Justin Clay says, Jaya is neat, but I don't know. She's a hard sell, and unfortunately, that's the one Planeswalker you've opened like 5 of. Wow. Including a promo at pre-release. Well, you should have you a playset of them, so when crazy things start happening and we start seeing Jaya Ballard decks, you're ready to go, right? So, yeah, let's... I actually think that Star is probably good. So... let's say for now that we just give our feedback, or my feedback. I think that this would be a decent sideboard. I mean, against control, you can bring in some more treasure maps. You can bring in, you know, the Get To Chroniclers. I don't think you need that main board. I really, really like Direfleet Daredevil. I do not like the little 2-mana ramp dude. So, you know, it is what it is. But guys, did you enjoy the deck? Was it fun? Did you have some fun with it? It's only about $40. I think that Barry Drake said that he picked this deck up a couple days ago. So I know he likes to play a lot of tabletop Magic and things like that with you know, his friends or so. I think he did like a pre-release or something like that, you know, where he picked up the pre-release packs and then they all played them at his house. So I think he does a lot of you know, private Magic and stuff like that. And I think this is where this deck's going to shine, where you don't have, you know, a play group of players that are bringing top tier decks and everybody's just kind of playing some fun and things like that. I think this is going to be a really fun deck, and it's exactly what you're going to want if you're looking for something like that. So I'll be the first to say that I actually didn't have much hope for this deck. I was just afraid that we would run into you know, red black and you know, the mono green decks and the red the red-black, the mono-green, and you know, the blue-black control decks, the Scarab God, things like that. And I was afraid we just wasn't going to be able to get anywhere with the deck. However, I like it. I really do like it. I think that after rotation, there's a 2-mana burn spell, burn target like creature for 4 damage, and then if it dies, like exile it or something. Can't think of the name of that card. But I think that deck will just like slot straight in here, just to give you, you know, more ways to deal with like Steel Leaf Champion and stuff like that. So yeah, like you might want to put that in after rotation or whatever. But Lava Coil, that's it. It does exile, right? Yeah. The deck seems like a lot of fun, and yeah, there are going to be some nice toys coming out in Guilds of Ravnica for it. Lava Coil, yeah. Best flavor text of the new set? I don't know. Is it like Sonic Blast or something like that? He saw thunder and heard stars, right? That's my favorite flavor text of the new set so far. I don't know what the flavor text is of Lava Coil, but I like that the Sonic Blast or something like that. That I forget the name of it. It's a red-blue card, but he saw thunder and heard stars. That was my favorite flavor text that I've read so far. But I'm gonna go look up Lava Coil and see what the flavor text on that is. So because it's probably gonna be pretty good. Yeah, I mean, when flavor text sticks out to people, it's probably pretty good. So, guys, you've been watching Dev's Deck. This was Jaya's Apex of Power. $40 rotation proof. In the end, I gave my feedback on the deck. Hope you guys liked it. I had a ton of fun playing it. It was so much fun. And it seems like the games you're going to lose quick. So you get to, you know, go hang out with your friends and things like that. I hope you had a lot of fun playing it. And we'll see you next time here on Sideboard MTG. Bye, guys.